What's up, y'all? Revent Builds, Behind the Build, episode 5. We have had massive progress amongst all of our projects. The office is specifically screaming. We are getting ever closer to the finish line. And behind me, at the $1 million pool, we're about to pour concrete. Let's get into it. Right now, we're at the $1 million pool. Today is pour number 2 of 4. That's not including shooting gunite for the pool. So as you can see, we've built ourselves a little football stadium down there. This is going to be the first pour of the retaining wall. This is about 12 feet high. Right above me, about 5 or 6 feet is where the top of the pool is going to go. So the next pour, we're gonna get our retaining wall up about another 12 feet. And then from that wall, we're gonna hang off the catch basin because this is a negative edge pool. So the next pour is going to be monumental, but we gotta get through this one to get there. After the third pour, we're putting on a foundation cap with some grade beams at the top, and that will be the final foundation that the pool actually sits on. Concrete trucks just pulled up. We're about to start pouring. Let's go down there and check it out. This is by far the most intense concrete pour we've ever done. But just like anything, the same principles that you're gonna use on a little 200 square foot addition, you're using here on over 300 tons of concrete. But the playing field is different. The stakes are way higher. Things can go wrong at a monumental level. So all we do is we double, triple check, get our engineers involved every step of the way, make sure we're dotting all of our I's, crossing all of our T's. And as you look down there, it just looks beautiful. You wanna look for straight lines. You wanna look for tons of support and brackets. And honestly, everything is looking so clean. We're gonna crush it today. Let's go down and check it out. Listen, if you're interested in building, if you wanna know what it takes to run a multi-million-dollar construction company, you need to be following this channel. We're pumping out badass videos, how-tos, documenting it every step of the way. You need to check it out, don't miss it. So what we were checking today is just plumbness of these walls. We want all of our corners perfect 90s. We want all of these walls to be nice and straight. If you see waves in the wall, you're gonna have waves in your concrete. So forming these up is just as paramount. It's probably even more important. The pour is literally just pouring mud down these walls. All the work is in the prep, and then in game day, you kind of just color in the lines.
The technical term for this is the drill dough. It's a hardcore vibrator attached to a giant air gun. So what that does is the concrete's gonna come through that tube. The concrete goes down into our forms. We put the vibrator down there toward the bottom where we're pouring, and it vibrates like crazy. It gets all the concrete settled so that it's compacting as we go up. That compaction is really important, and we wanna make sure everything is full and there's no air pockets. Woo! Hey, cuidado, papi! I might need to take that home with me and do a little further exploration and some testing. I just want to shout out to our damn crew. It is approaching 100 degrees. We are in full sun, getting baked. These guys are out here crushing it day in and day out. We have a sense of urgency in finishing all of our projects, but what's good is we all make more money the faster we go, so all of our interests are aligned. So these guys, I'm trying to keep up with them. They say, hey, we need the next lumber drop. We need concrete. I'm just like, I never ever want to have them waiting.
Okay, so we were fully ready to pour, or at least ready to get our forms up. All the rebar was in. We told Victor and the guys, hey, we're thinking about expanding this. They took down the rebar, thinking we were gonna expand it. We talked to the engineer. Expanding this wall caused a heap of problems. We had to put 3 new piers in the ground, another really tall pier in the center, and then he wanted concrete mid-height tiebacks in like a hash mark grid pattern. So it was gonna cost a lot of money. I presented all of that to the client. They decided, you know what? Let's not postpone this any longer. I'm good with it as is. So then we rebuilt the wall, we got it all put back together, and here we are today. That's just part of the game. There's always a lesson to be learned, never jump the gun, but you also gotta be ready to go. So it's like this, and sometimes you gotta just sit back, be like, you know what, let's pause, figure this out, get a good game plan, and then jump. All right, so obviously, pour day, you get real excited. the pump is having an issue. It's not pumping these rocks through. The tubes are getting pretty violent. I'm calling it. It's not safe. I do not want to force it. If we have to pour a different day, safety is paramount. We're going to try to find a backup. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Sometimes you just got to know when to fold them, you know, and it is disappointing, but that's how it rolls. You got to roll with the punches. But, you know, I'm going to keep my spirits high. We got a couple backups. It's not fully dead just yet, but we probably got like an hour because this concrete can't sit for too long. All right, so we were the last stop of the day. So there's 3 trucks that they're saying we're responsible for. We're gonna try to put it on the line pump guys. And honestly, you know, I don't want to put it all on Victor. He works his freaking ass off out here. So we're gonna figure out a way, but it's not working out today. We're gonna pour Monday, figure it out, a few $1,000. Again, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. And we gotta just keep moving forward. Okay, so over at one of our pretty big size remodel addition projects over on the west side of town, we're making tons of progress. We've started excavating. We're getting ready for forms, rebar, plumbing. On the interior, completely demoed. We're basically 100% done with demo. There's a bunch of work that we're gonna be doing on the interior of the house that we're gonna be screaming on next week. Our lumber's been dropped. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we can pour that foundation, get the addition all framed up, and then get all of our framing done on the inside. Overlook on Lake Travis, demo is completely done. The homeowners added in a full demo gut of their master bath. That has since been demoed. We ran into the issue of the Kitech water lines. I met with our plumbers, Rod Plumbing. We found a game plan throughout that whole house. We're gonna delete all the old Kitech, put in new PEX throughout the house, 2 new water heaters, a water softener, and a flow logic system that will detect leaks and shut the water off in the whole house. Our homeowners are super pumped. They approved the change order. Next week, we're gonna get in there, start tearing that whole baby apart. So our clients, they love Formula One. They had a big group scheduled for October to stay in the main house because they were gonna throw a huge party and all go to F1. I had to deliver the news to the clients that, hey guys, with this new issue, I just don't feel comfortable with the timeline. I'm not gonna say it's 100% out of the picture, but I said, you need to make other arrangements. You gotta just let them know immediately. And you just have to be honest. And you have to relay information, not immediately when you find out, but usually you wanna come up with a good game plan, relay the correct information on what's gonna happen and what you're gonna do, and then move forward. Over at Revent HQ, we are getting dangerously close to being able to call final inspections. But of course, at this point, it's always death by 1,000 cuts, right? So we make some progress, we gotta creep back a little. We put up the pony walls, we found out some of them were crooked. We had to tear one down, rebuild it, retile it. We have both bathrooms tiled. Cabinets have already been in. We have interior planters in. We've cut out the AC return airs. We've got probably 90% of our electric trim out. So what this means is hopefully by next week, we're gonna be able to call our final electric inspection. And that's the first domino to fall. Then we have to call plumbing, HVAC, and then final building. But once we call final electric, we can get power on, we can get AC in the building, we can hot check everything, make sure everything's working. So that's really exciting. Just these little problems that come up, and you gotta come up with a creative solution that also looks amazing, but performs well. All right, guys, another week in paradise. It seems like every week is just a show in the best way. We're just slinging mud, we're in the ring, throwing punches, you take some to the face, but we hang in there. We're knocking stuff out. Our team is just getting better and better and better, and that's from our project managers, our superintendents, admins, suppliers, subcontractors, tradesmen, everything. I appreciate y'all. This was another great week. Stay tuned for next week, because of course big things are happening and they're gonna continue to happen. Like, subscribe, share, it helps the channel tremendously. We are blowing up and y'all need to see the action. Stay tuned.